you have been welcomed to Lira City, but it is not funny that I also welcome you, because this is my constituency. So allow me to welcome you to Lira City, and in a special way, appreciate my son, Andrew Odu, who invited me to come. I have failed completely to attend the conferences of the Association of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. This is the first I have attended. For me, it is a door that God is opening and saying, please remember those people as well. So thank you very much for inviting me, and I thank God for giving me the time to be here. And thank you for choosing to have the Northern Conference here in Lira City. You could have gone somewhere else. But it is a cool, beautiful place. A little squeezed, but I know you are happy here. It is a pleasure for me to be here, and I bring you greetings from the Ministry of Health and from the entire leadership of Ministry of Health. I know you have a few, one or two who are here with you, but receive our greetings and our deepest appreciation for the good work that you are doing. Allow me also to start by congratulating you, because you did congratulate me, but it is teamwork. The reduction of maternal mortality ratio to 189 is teamwork. No one can do it alone. But again, allow me to appreciate all of you, because it is not only maternal mortality that went down. The numbers of women delivering in the facilities went up to 91%. And with teamwork, we can do even much better. I would also wish to thank you for your professionalism, commitment, and the teamwork that you are exhibiting. But I want to continue to appeal even for much more commitment in provision of quality services. I don't know whether many of you heard the story. I don't know whether it was in Mayuge or where, but it was in the east. In Mayuge, Manafa. Pre-operative. Very painful. Did you hear the story?
Yes.
Yes, a very painful story. I think she was a gravida 13. So she has a lot of children that she has left behind. 12. First of all, she narrowly escaped death at gravida 12. If the midwife who attended to her had talked to her about planning for healthy families, and she hadn't come back, maybe we would have had her life. If the doctor had not insisted on asking for money and sitting and waiting while a woman is bleeding and contracting, maybe we would have had her life. Is that we still have work to address the issues of quality health care. Health is not cheap, and many a times we hide our heads in the sand and we keep on saying we are offering free services. There are no free services. There is no free lunch. Even in your own home, there is no free lunch. Even when you have lunch here, somebody has paid for it. There is nothing free. And so we need to work together to ensure that we have more resources for health, so that we can have better quality health services. But also we need more commitment from all of us. Recently, the Ministry of Finance presented a survey. I don't know who asked them to carry out the survey. Maybe it happened when I was not in cabinet. But they presented a survey since salaries were enhanced, to give us a report whether it has translated into better services, into less absenteeism, and more availability of doctors, and also patient satisfaction. And everything came out negative. Absenteeism has worsened in spite of the increase in salaries. It has worsened. The specialists are not there. The patients are crying. And then everybody turned to look at me and said, you were the one here saying when we increase salaries, things will improve. I said, yes, I said so. But I also put a caveat, because we still have two challenges. One of them is mindset change. Can we change our mindset and give back to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, without government coming in to put restrictions? Because there are some of us who give 1 hour to government and 7 hours to our private services. Moonlighting. But we've left people behind. And then those who actually stay demand for money. Like the young doctor, who I was told has been arrested. We demand for money. 300,000. Surely 300,000. If you lose a life for 300,000, that is painful. Very painful. So, we abandon our duties, we demand for money. I know we have to survive, but I think we are better paid than those who come to look for services. And some of them are so poor. They don't even have a chicken to sell. So my humble appeal is that we should have a heart of compassion for the people who come to seek our services. Many of the things you do also go hand in hand with other services, like availability of blood, the nurses and midwives that I talked about, and of course you cannot work without the pediatricians. I know we are still having challenges with blood availability, readily available blood. But in your jobs as leaders, I also request that you pay special attention. Yesterday on one of our forums, I think the Director General visited a hospital. Is it Mitiana or where? And was posting a refrigerator full of expired blood. I was very shocked. Full of expired blood, not used, collected and left to expire. And yet in some of the hospitals where you work, you are running around looking even just for 1 unit to transfuse a needy patient. All leaders, that is the way God designed it. In your work, you know you are a leader. So pay attention to other critical areas. Just come one day in your work, visit the blood bank, see how they are running the blood bank, see how they are running the laboratory. You're not encroaching on anybody's work. If the director feels you're encroaching on his or her work, say, can I go with you? I just want to make sure my unit is well served so that I know what is available. Now we keep on crying. We don't have enough blood, we don't have this, we don't have test kits. When such pictures start coming, it becomes very difficult for me to stand up and defend, whether in cabinet or in parliament. But you need blood. And you need to encourage, we need to encourage one another to donate blood for your services. But allow me also to talk a little bit about teenage pregnancies. I am sure that is one of your biggest headaches. And we did not make any progress in reducing teenage pregnancy. I think according to our statistics, we are still stuck at 29?
24 for the last 20 years. 24, 25. Right?
The same. It remains the same. So our daughters, because I want to believe that all of you have daughters who are teenagers. Of course, there are young people who are just starting families. We also bless you. But our daughters are still getting pregnant. And they are a big burden to you. Actually, they contribute to the neonatal mortality that we are not seeing a reduction in, because they are more prone to have complications during childbirth. So me and you need to talk about it wherever we go without shying away. First, start in your own homes. Make sure your daughters don't fall victims. And then go out and talk about it. Don't only come, go do your work, go to theater. Health education on prevention is part of our duties. We need to talk about it. I know government opened up and said, which was very good, even when you get pregnant, deliver, go back to school. But it is not a blank check that we should go around having pregnant teens because they will go back to school. That will continue to increase maternal mortality and neonatal mortality. It is worse in some regions than in others. The eastern side is not doing very well. Usoga sub-region, but also mid-north, Acholi, Lango area. We are not doing very well as regards teenage pregnancies. Although, I was quite happy with the statistics that showed that in Lango sub-region, fertility rate dropped. I think we are second to Kampala at 3.7, Lango at 4.6. If it could come a little lower, just a little lower, 4 children is manageable. And as I conclude, I have been telling my people in the Ministry of Health that we got the message of family planning wrong from the very beginning. That is why it has not worked. Because people relate family planning to commodities. And when people are asking one another, if a lady comes to ask me now, she will come and ask, are you on family planning? Is that correct? It is not correct, because family planning is not commodities. So we need to change the narrative and talk about planning for families, planning for healthy families, and delink it from commodities. Because if you can plan and look after 10 children, we are not going to stop you. Go ahead and have them. Have your 10 children, but make sure that they go to university, Harvard, where I'm sure that we are about to have a Harvard here in Lango. There is another Harvard in Gulu. You need to be proud of your universities. For me, they are Harvards. You need to be proud. Are you aware that we have 20 medical schools in Uganda? 20 medical schools. Let me first stop the family planning and talk about this. So when you hear me struggling with interns, you know I'm getting broken. But I'm also very happy that we are able to train big numbers. But 20 unregulated, poorly regulated medical schools is not something to be very happy about. We need them all churning out good quality. So let us make sure that they are Harvards, and send our children that we plan for to good schools. The challenge we have is that people fear family planning commodities. They relate it to the complications that they sometimes get, which is true. The complications are there. But there are a variety, and they can choose from the variety. So, Commissioner Reproductive Health, we need to begin to separate the information from the commodities so that people understand what is behind the information. And they also understand that we have commodities to support those who cannot use the natural method. So we combine the information with the commodities, but give the right information. then perhaps our mothers will begin to appreciate. Although our contraceptive prevalence rate increased slightly a bit, which was good, but you see, when you have an increase, when you don't have demand, then you have not made progress. We have actually not created demand. That is why the unmet need is so small. That is work for us to do. Allow me to appreciate you for coming together to share knowledge. It is extremely important because medicine changes every day. New things come up. And it is important that you come together and you share that knowledge. Because if you don't do, you will leave your colleagues behind and others will be ahead. But we want to be at the same level, appreciating new technologies, new research, new development that we also need to impart into our young colleagues. Thank you very much for the work you're doing. Let us continue to work together. The Ministry of Health does not implement. We only develop policies, strategies, mobilize resources. You are the people who do the work. When you do the work, some people take credit. But I always tell my people, don't give me the credit. It is teamwork. We give ourselves the credit for a job well done. So thank you and thank you again. Continue doing the work that you do. God bless you. It is now my honor and pleasure to declare it is a one-day conference, 2 days. Your conference officially opened, and to wish you very good deliberations and better services in the future for God and my country.